Hello everyone and welcome to another one of my favourite mix sets for Monster Hunter Generations. Today we are looking at two mixed armour sets that pair beautifully with the very elegant pocket rocket, the Lost Musket. Both set variations will give you the armour skills Recoil down +2, Artillery Expert, Load Up and Ammo Saver. Before we go through the armours though, let's take a gander at the weapon. And this is it in all its elegance. At the moment it's got the silencer on it that kind of looks like a crown, which I think is kind of regal, obviously, and it matches, I guess, the very awesome and rich looking weapon that it is. Okay, so heading over to the equipment now. The Lost Musket, it's a fantastic weapon that loads a whole armory's worth of heavy explosives. The gun loads all 3 levels of Crag and Clust shot, has level 2 cannon and tri-blast shot in the internals, and can rapid level 1 Crag. Aside from that, some other useful shots include flash as an internal here, and pierce level 2, normal level 2 and normal level 3 as some examples. It has a good base attack of 210, a generous 30% affinity, and 3 slots to work with. The gun is somewhat famous in the Japanese playing community for Nikakos Hame runs and finds use in almost all monster fights. It is really fun to use and you can get lots of KOs and part breaks with it. It has a bit of a kick and some of your higher level explosives have low carry numbers, so a set that reduces recoil and uses ammo saver is nice with this, as is attaching the silencer. Now a note on how to make the weapon in the first place. If we go over to page 10 of the items here, you'll see this item called the Extravagant Artifact. Now this is necessary in order to unlock the weapon in the first place, I believe. Now this is an item gained from the Monster Hunter minigame by hitting the question mark area in the low rank coast when it is labelled as rare. Likewise, you'll later need opulent artifacts for upgrading, which can be found in the same way, except at the high rank coast area. All other materials are common enough and you shouldn't have any trouble knowing where to find them. Okay, now on to the mixed set itself. Alright, so the first one I am showing you has the best potential defense of the two I'll be showing today and requires a recoil +5 triple slot talisman. If we just have a look at the defense that we've got here, we've got 311 cumulative. This is as the armor has been maximum upgraded. And also we're using, what are they called? The Armor Talon and Armor Charm. So I expect to get 311 before any food buffs. Now this is comprised of the Barrage Earring, the Seltas Vest, the Seltas Guards, the Vaik Coat S, the Hermitaur Leggings R, and as I said before, this first one is utilising the Recoil +5 triple slot. Okay, now let's go through how we've gemmed out these. We've got the Absorber Jewel 3 in the triple slot talisman here. We've got an Artillery and a Recoil, both single slot decorations in the Vaik Coat S, and we've got 3 single slot artillery decorations in the weapon itself. Alright, now let's have a look at the second set that I've got. This one requires an artillery talisman. Alright. So first up, we'll bring up the equipment here. So it's always nice to have an alternate way to make these armors. So hopefully you can have one of these 2 types of talismans. This particular one we're dealing with here, this set will work with an Artillery 7 triple slot or an Artillery 9 double slot as a minimum. For reference, talismans come with a maximum value of 10 to artillery. What I happen to have found here is an Artillery 10 double slot, but as I said, you will only require 9 points on the talisman if it has 2 slots. The mix this time is made up of the Barrage Earring, Battle Vest S, Black Belt Guards S, Vaik Coat S, and the Hermitaur Leggings R. The decorations we put in include 2 artillery gems in the talisman here. We've got a recoil and an artillery here, both single slots in the Vaik S coat. We've got a Thrift Jewel 2 in the chest for ammo saver skill. And then we've put a triple slotted Absorber Jewel 3 into the weapon. Okay, so now on to the skill points table, and let's check out what these skills do for us. Alright, first up we've got 15 points, well we've got 16 here, but all we need is 15 points, to Artillery, getting us a skill called Artillery Expert. This skill will increase the power of ballista shots, gun lance, shellings and wyvern fire by 20%. Power of the charge blade's impact file burst attacks will increase by 35%, and there's some other things that affect other weapons in other ways, but as for our gun, the thing that you really want to know is that this skill will increase the power of certain bowgun shot types, including crag shot, wyvern fire shot, tri-blast shot, and cannon shot by a huge 30%, which is quite nice. Up next we've got 15 points to recoil, activating into recoil down +2. Now, this reduces the recoil of the bowgun by 2 stages. Note that this recoil reduction does not apply to rapid firing though. For the Lost Musket with the silencer attachment, this gives the overall recoil rating as very low, which is the second lowest level, losing out to the minimum recoil rating. In the case of the Lost Musket, very low recoil will see all shot types except the Cannonball level 2 shooting with optimal recoil. If you don't mind Tri-Blast and Pellet level 1 shooting a little slower, then even recoil 1 is fine if you can't manage to get it for yourself. After that we've got 10 points to loading, activating into a skill called Load Up. Now Load Up is a skill that will increase ammo capacity for bowguns. It also does other things such as charge level increase for bows to a maximum charge level of 4. It also increases gun lance shelling capacity and enhances charge blade energy file loading, for example. And finally we've got 10 points to Ammo Saver, activating into a skill of the same name. This is a skill that gives you a 20% chance to not use up a shot after firing. This also applies to coatings on arrows, and this is really nice, especially with these low carry number ammos that we'll be using with this gun. So those are the 2 sets to go with this awesome Lost Musket. I'm thinking that I will make these armor set videos weekly. The mixed sets, that is, publishing one each weekend until I run out of ideas. So for next week's video, I would like you all to vote which type of video you'd like to see out of the next 2 options. Would you like to see my aerial element set, an armor mix that boosts your element, affinity and effectiveness in aerial combat? Or would you like a video about some armor ideas for switch axe users? Sound off in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. Until next time guys, it's goodbye for now.